Hello YouTube, this is Jason with Orchids at Heart. I just wanted to show you my collection that's currently in bloom, and I just want to go ahead and start right here on the left with this Rhynchostylis cartoon. This has been in bloom since about December 28th is when the first bloom opened up, and it's been in full bloom since the middle of January. The blooms are absolutely gorgeous. This is also known as a foxtail orchid. And the blooms themselves, a little bit of age to them, but some people believe these orchids have a very foul smell, and that may be the case for some of the other hybrids, but this one, actually I think it smells more like a peony. So it's very strong, and the last about 2 weeks it's not been as strong, but I absolutely love the scent of it in the mid-afternoon. So it's absolutely gorgeous. So I love, there's about 30 or so blooms. I've had one or two kind of go bad on me when I had a dip in humidity. So, and then next here for me is a Howeara lava burst. It has been in bloom since January 15th. So, and this actually had 2 spikes. I had 1 spike actually has gone over on me, and I had to cut it off. But I absolutely love these blooms. They turn upside down, which is a little, actually fairly common for a lot of orchids, mostly some of your other natives that we have here in the U.S. So, but some close-ups of it. So, but as you can see, I did have two inflorescences coming off this one pseudobulb down here at the bottom. It likes to climb. I'm thinking about actually mounting this orchid, but my humidity is really low in the winter, so I don't know if I would be able to do that or not with success, and I don't want to lose this orchid. So the next one that I have here is a Paphiopedlium Supersuk Eureka that's been crossed with Raisin pie, and a lot of veining in that lip, and then obviously the upper petal there is quite gorgeous. It's got a lot of purples and greens, and then the sides there's a lot of, you can see all the hairiness come off, I guess you could call it the pubescence of the flower. It's very maroon, and then inside the pouch actually has all these tiny little dots. So, and it looks really neat. So, I'm guessing to confuse and draw the insect up into the column there for fertilization. So there's a reason for that. Here next is probably one of my absolute favorites. This is a, sorry about that, Epilaeliocattleya Jackie Bright. So this is a gorgeous flower, and I have 7 pseudobulbs down here. 3 of them are leafless, 4 of them have leaves, and I need to actually repot this summer, so, or actually this spring once it's finished blooming. And these flowers, oh man, I just love them, with the color from the orange all the way down to the bright yellow lip, and then you have this maroon like lines, I guess, and they're all dotted, as you can see, that go up into the column. Sorry for the going in and out of focus on the iPhone here, so hopefully I'm not too shaky for you. This has been in bloom since March 22nd, so I'm hoping to get about 2 or 3, probably 3 or 4 weeks on this at least, if not more. So. And sorry I didn't mention this. This Paphiopedlium's been in bloom since the beginning of April. Most likely will be probably in bloom for about, I'm going to guess between 6 to 8 weeks, most likely. They take forever to get going. They're very slow growers, so I'm hoping they'll actually last quite a long time for me. This next one here is a Cattleya hybrid. As far as I know, it's a hybrid. This is actually a division from my boss's grandmother's plant from the 80s is when he told me that she got it. So I have absolutely no idea what this is. So if any of you do have any ideas, let me know. But the one unfortunate thing is that I guess I have a humidity about 50 to 60%, and this has only been in bloom since the beginning of April as well. These actually opened up about the same time, and this one, as you can see, is already starting to go over. Has a wonderful scent, very floral, but it's just, if it doesn't last any longer than that, I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to keep it all that long. I don't think I'm going to gift it, but I may just hang on to it just for the sake of it coming from an old boss. So I have another inflorescence coming back from back here, and there's 3 blooms on this one. This was the strongest pseudobulb from last year's growing season, so maybe they last longer. I don't know. I'm trying to pull the inflorescence back up because it was kind of leaning over into this other one, and I didn't want it to bunch up and not open correctly. So this last one I had here for you. Probably common with it. A lot of people call it the coconut orchid, but it's a Maxillaria Tenuifolia. It's very, very strong, and even after the bloom falls off, and the bloom will last a good 6 to 8 weeks, if not longer. The dried bloom would probably make wonderful. Now I'm reminding me blank what it's called, but this smell will last. I mean, I've had it last a few months after the blooms actually dropped off, to my surprise. So I kind of held on to it the first time I actually had a bloom for me. Just kind of, I was curious. So, but it's also in a desperate need of a repot. This one also I've considered about chunking a few different pieces on a mount, and then potting up the rest of it. So I've considered doing that as well. I'll probably do that once that's done blooming, or I have some other sides here. I may come in here and cut off this side here, because you can see there's quite a bit of a separation on this plant. So I probably could do that without having any issues with losing that flower. So, and the last thing here, I don't know if very many of you are into carnivorous plants, but this is a Mexican Pinguicula. Pirouette is the hybrid name of it. So it's actually a cross of Moranensis and Ehlersiae, and back again with Agnata. This has actually been in bloom. The very first bloom is this one right here, and it actually opened up on February 5th and has not dropped. And every one of these has come in since, and there's still a few more coming. So this was one plant at the beginning of the year, and within 4 months it has split itself and split itself and split itself. So I'm going to have quite a few plants. So, anyway, that's everything I have in bloom. I have a few more carnivorous plants in bloom, other Pinguiculas, but I just couldn't resist sharing that one, so sorry for the finger. Anyway, I've rambled on long enough, and I appreciate everyone's time. And if you haven't, please subscribe and stay healthy, everyone.